This is the Peak Perspective Podcast.
Welcome back to the Peak Perspective Podcast. I'm Alin Beane.
I'm James Perez.
And I'm Chase Dulude.
Nevada basketball will have a completely different look next season. 6 graduates and 2 big transfers have left the program with 6 scholarship players. Among them is point guard Tyler Rolison, who will join us later today. But before we get to that, what's going on in the Mountain West, Chase?
I mean, with the Mountain West Conference, I think, do we call their performance in March Madness a disappointment? Because, it was a 5-bid conference, or 4-bid. It should have been 5 because...
It should have been. Boise State should have made it. And
Absolutely.
we see how well they've been doing in the CBI.
CBC. Yeah, they're in the semifinals for the CBC. They're playing Nebraska on Saturday.
The Sabuka.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think unlike last year, there weren't expectations for the Mountain West because last year there was Utah State was really good.
Utah State, well, they were a surprise last year.
Nevada was fantastic. New Mexico went on a deep run and won the conference. San Diego State is San Diego State. You know, there was some optimism for the entire conference, and the entire conference laid an egg, aside from San Diego State, who won a game, then laid an egg. So I think the run they had this year, you got Colorado State beating Memphis in the first round, and then New Mexico beating Marquette, and both of them advancing to the round of 32, and then Colorado State, heartbreaking.
That was very hard. That was a hard game to watch. Even for New Mexico, I know it was an 8-point game, but truthfully, that game was a lot closer than 8 points. We also the free throw discrepancy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Disparity there.
Yeah, no, Michigan State both took a lot more free throws and made a lot more free throws than New Mexico. And that's the difference in tournament games. But Colorado State, New Mexico, they both made this conference proud. The teams that did not are San Diego State.
Yeah.
Took the so-called worst team to make the NCAA tournament in years because there's no way North Carolina should have made it.
They had no business.
The only reason they made it is,
because they're UNC.
Yeah, because
basically.
they're UNC and because their athletic director is the chair of the selection committee.
And no one had an issue with this prior to this.
I heard he apparently excused himself
But
from the room,
honest,
but
though,
they're gonna give their boy a favor.
Like, come on.
Exactly.
So UNC just took their anger out on San Diego State and then immediately fell apart as normal. But San Diego State looked horrible, lifeless, hopeless. They looked like they did in the second half against Boise State, like in the Mountain West tournament. Whereas Utah State just sucked. They were terrible.
Utah State, they had this amazing start to the season. They floundered off towards the end.
And then they shot the bed.
Yep. That's honestly the best way to put it.
What losing to UNLV does to a man, because after that they just completely collapse.
Yeah, that was that one of the worst blowouts of the first round?
I think the worst was Arizona Akron.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it was
Houston
SIUE.
Okay, yeah.
Like that wasn't even relatively
But
close.
this was a 7-10. This should have been a lot closer. Oh man.
Yeah, when I was making my bracket. When I was making my bracket, I picked UCLA with no hesitation. I was talking to my girlfriend about it when we were making brackets, and I'm like,
"You have one of those?"
Yeah. I'm surprised too.
Chase is a very manly man. Look at this dude. Look at that beard, bro.
Bruh, it's
Peak male performance right here.
Yeah, peak perspective, exactly. Roll credits, but yeah, no, I did not see Utah State being able to win that game at all. Like UCLA is, a much better team than a 7 seed, I think. To be fair, they went and got blasted apart by Tennessee.
Got rocked by Tennessee.
But it's Tennessee, and the SEC has been a fantastic conference this year. But I think, obviously you had the 12 seed Colorado State made it. You had the 10 seed New Mexico make it. But with Colorado State, you can complain about the travel, non-push off call on Maryland all you want.
Yeah.
Refs are going to be refs. That's just how it works, and you just have to overcome that. That was just heartbreaking no matter how you slice it. And
it's
then,
just,
of course,
it
it's a frustrating situation for the Rams. But I think the Rams losing signified a larger problem because them losing made it so that this was the first NCAA tournament Sweet 16 since what was it? Since like 2008
Yeah,
that didn't
something
have
like that ridiculous.
that didn't have a 12 seed or lower in it.
That is wild to think about.
I mean, it's insane because, I mean, a couple years ago we got blessed with maybe the March filled with the most madness ever. I mean, you got a Final Four of the 4 seed UConn, 5 seeds Miami and San Diego State, and then the 9 seed Florida Atlantic. That was
one of the best March Madness seasons, I think, in a while.
It might be the best ever, and it might remain that, sadly, with performances like this. You got all 4 1 seeds in the Final Four. I mean, there's no intrigue. I mean, obviously, Auburn, Florida, Houston, Duke have pretty, at least decently sized fan bases. These are schools that are historically pretty good at basketball. But like, there's no necessarily intrigue. I know a lot of people talk about how the ratings go down when it's like Cinderella teams that have made a deep run. They tend to go down as opposed to when it's just big teams, which I mean makes sense. Those teams are going to have less fans, but I think those games are better for the sport because it keeps intrigue in the product.
It really does. It really does.
Because
Absolutely.
when you see your George Masons in the Final Four, you see Loyola Chicago in the Final Four.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
As a Nevada fan, that one still hurts, but hey, at the very least, they made the most of it.
Yeah. I mean, like you think back recently. I mean, with like the St.
Atlantic.
Peter, and like I'm thinking about the St. Peter's run. I feel like so many people were glued to that story because they went on a crazy run that year.
Yeah,
But
and
it's just,
Florida Gulf Coast back
Yeah.
in the early 2000s as well. I think when you get like those stories, those moments, that is what makes March Madness March Madness. And obviously, not every year is going to have that level of parity. However, even with the last time that it was all 1 seeds, which was 2008,
Yep.
even then, I don't think it was that necessarily hopeless because these 1 seeds are not just normal 1 seeds.
Yeah.
They have obliterated everyone they faced. I think the only Elite 8 matchup that was close was Texas Tech, Florida.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut off these two from yapping for a sec. When we come back, we'll hear from Tyler Rolison, but now here's a word from our sponsors.
All right, so we're joined here now by Tyler Rolison of the Nevada Wolfpack basketball team. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. You know, another day, another dollar.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
There you go.
So, yeah, we just wanted to talk to you for a little bit about some just wrap-up stuff with the Wolfpack season and moving forward. So, I mean, obviously a tougher season than what was initially imagined for you guys, but you guys never stopped fighting. So, like, what was the season as a whole like, if you had to describe it in a couple words?
Words. I probably don't have any words, but I think mainly this season it was probably like just building connection with the team, brotherhood. I know that we didn't have a season that we all wanted to have. In the first beginning, we was doing all good. Everything was going good. We just couldn't get over that hump in the middle. So I think when it got to that point, I think it would just be coming together as a team and just a brotherhood to build.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, after the season's over, you got, I mean, arguably the Mountain West second team player, Nick, transferred out to Clemson. You got Justin going into the transfer portal. And, I mean, it's kind of the state of things with a lot of mid-major teams. So, like, describe the feeling in the locker room when, like you said, it's building that camaraderie, but then, you know, some guys leave and go off to greener pastures. Like, what has that done to the locker room so far?
You know, it hurts because I've been playing with Nick for 2 years, and then Justin came in, and you know he could hoop. So I think it hurt, but at the same time, it was just do what's best for you and your future. Like, I think at the end of the day, we wasn't going to hold nobody back on what they wanted to do and their plans to move forward with their future. So I think we just wanted the best for everybody that entered the portal.
How do you think the team moves forward without like one of their top scorers and one of the more promising younger guys on the team? How do you guys move forward next year?
Just next man step up, really. We're gonna have a whole new team again like we did this year. So I think it's just gonna build the connection during the summer and then see what we could do from there.
Kind of going off of that, Nevada just got to pick up Fresno State transfer Elijah Price. Like, have you gotten to talk to him at all? Have you made a connection yet at all?
Yeah, it was fun. I used to play him. I had played him all my 4 years in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I kind of already knew him. So when I heard they was recruiting him, so I just knew I had to get a piece of that and just see if he wanted to come here, and we made it happen.
Was he excited to come here to play with you, especially having played against each other before?
Yeah, it was like a full circle thing. You know, it was like rivals turned into teammates type of thing. So I just think it was a good thing. I know how he plays. He averaged a double-double last year. So I just think he'll bring a good thing to the team.
Was it kind of the same thing with, I know Xavier Dussel, he transferred from Fresno State to Nevada last year. Is it kind of a similar situation, or is it different because you guys have that connection together already?
I think it's kind of the same. Which they're both transferring. I think connection-wise, I had never played with them, so we probably don't have a good connection on the court. But we're going to build that. So I just think really it's just getting into momentum and just seeing how me and him could just play together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just for you, Tyler, just being one of the leaders going into next season, what's your pitch for these, potential recruits to come here to Nevada?
Really, pitch, really, I don't really have one. I think it's just telling them the truth. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes into recruitment. A lot of people ask, like, how is it, what is it like? But it's just like, I feel like if the coaches will let you play as long as you do your part.
You guys just got that new basketball building too. Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll help? Is it nice in there?
Yeah, it's really nice in there. It's real nice actually. We could play the game in there. We could do a lot of things. So I just think that's one good thing that you could show the new recruits when they come in there.
Did that building help you guys at all with doing things that you couldn't do in the old Lawler facilities?
Yeah, I think now because there's a lot of more space in there, so you could actually go in there and chill, watch TV. You do all the little things.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, with regards to you've been here for a couple years now, weren't able to get the opportunity to start much last year, but presumably gonna definitely have to take a bigger role next season. How are you gonna manage the new role within the team?
Just maturity and just become a better leader for all the people that's coming in to play for Nevada. So I just think being mature and just taking on that bigger step and role.
One thing that I am always curious to ask with whenever I get to talk to athletes here, why did you initially choose to come here as opposed to a different school?
Really, I think it was more just a kind of a family-based thing. I know one of the coaches, Jayhawk, he knew one of my high school coach, and then my high school coach played one of the other coach's brothers in college, and then my uncle that's in the basketball world kind of knew the head coaches, and so it was just a full circle thing, and they were just telling me they're good people, good coaches. So when I came here and took a visit, they had shown nothing but love and just kept it real for me, and that's all I really care about, just real and family-based type of thing. So I think that was an easy choice for me.
Does your family come up here to watch you play games?
Yeah, they do. It's not that far. It's a 45-minute flight.
Okay.
So, yeah, my family could come when they can.
What's the experience been like for them at games from a fan perspective, but having that connection to watching you play?
I think now I really can't hear them yell. Yeah, in high school you could hear them yelling, but now you just hear a whole bunch of people yelling at you. So I just think they just be into the game and they just think they just happy for me.
Is it do they tell you where they are, where they're gonna be while watching the game? Do you ever look up at them when they're playing?
Before the game I'll look in the crowd and see where they at just to But yeah, they don't tell me where they sit at, but I'll just look in the crowd and see if I can find them.
How meaningful is it, or you did mention the family connection, how meaningful is it to be able to play in front of your family at a collegiate level?
It's big because I'm one of the first people out of my family to really make it this far and still be hooping. So I just think it's big, and I'm just trying to put on for my younger generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of just going off of family, I mean, what's your relationship like with the rest of the guys in the locker room? Do you guys like go out together? Are you guys actually friends, off the court?
Yeah, it's really a brotherhood. Like, we all talk off the court. We all hang out off the court. So I just think that made it easier for us on the court. So I just think building that brotherhood on and off the court is one of the biggest things for a team.
What's the best way to build that brotherhood off the court when there's a consistent flow of players leaving and coming in and, new guys having to coalesce together and old, potentially really good friends getting ripped apart? What's it like trying to build that camaraderie?
I think just comfortability, really. When new people come in, you don't want to you just let them get settled in, let them get comfortable, and then you just take it from there.
Absolutely.
You guys have any fun locker room or, road trip stories from this past season?
Fun road trips. I can't think of one right now.
No?
I can't think of one.
You guys got any pregame hype music that gets you guys all going? Who's in control of the music in the locker room?
Control of music this year was my boy Amir. He had control of the music this year, and he used to have us, turned up in the locker room. So yeah.
What kind of tunes does he play?
We listen to NBA YoungBoy, Lil Durk, Lil Baby,
okay.
A little bit of Gunna. Everybody. Towards the end of the year, we started playing Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we had to switch the flow up in there. But, yeah, we listen to all type of music for games.
Yeah.
All right.
Alin, you got it?
Yeah. I guess, one real quick before you go, to kind of go back to the pitch a little bit, what would you say is your favorite part of this campus, just, as a whole?
Favorite part of this campus?
Yeah, it could be, a basketball building. Just
probably the rec.
The rec?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rec be fun. I go in there and hoop sometime. Actually be decent people in there. So the rec be fun.
Oh, actually, wait, hold on. I got one. Okay. Do you guys, ever go and hoop against, just students here on campus at all?
Mm-hmm.
And, what is that like for you guys? Like you pull up to, the UNR gym? Or anything or no?
Yeah, when we go to, the rec right here, a lot of people, when we on the same team, people don't like it. But at the same time, it be fun because, people give us their best game. So it'd be fun to be there and just hoop against different type of people around this campus.
I mean, going to around campus stuff with the community, what is the community atmosphere here from your perspective? How big of a part does the fan base play in your guys' play on the court?
I think it's small. Reno's small, so I think the basketball team, the fans show us love, and I think that's what keeps us going on the court. Is when the fans come cheer us on, and then when we walking around and the fans just greet us, it's that type of stuff that people don't think about. That goes a long way.
What's your favorite part of playing here? I know James asked about the campus, but what's your favorite part of playing here in Nevada?
Probably the crowd. The crowd. Last year when we had played San Diego State, that probably might have been my best experience here playing in Lawler. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
You have any messages for the Wolfpack fans for this upcoming season?
Tune in. Everybody get their tickets, and it's going to be a fun year.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
All right, thanks for your time. We appreciate
you.
having you here on the
Thank you,
podcast
Tyler.
today.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This has been
The Peak Perspective Podcast.
You can follow us on Twitter at RSJ Stringbean for now.
At J Perez Nevada.
and at Chase Dulude.
Thank you guys for listening. We may or may not be back.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Sometime.
Y'all think I'm coming back?